So I hope everyone's doing really well today, and I wanted to go over this quote I often see on social media, and it's a fantastic quotation, but I don't think often people abide by this quote, and they often, don't stop to think about the lesson it's trying to teach us. And the quote is, life isn't about waiting for the storm to pass, it's learning how to dance in the rain. And to me, what this means is actually learning to move towards the sound of the storm. It's actually finding beauty in the rainfall. And what I mean by that is it's actually learning to thrive in what the situation demands in a challenging situation. Oftentimes we default to that path of least resistance where everything has to be, least chaotic as possible. We have to be in a very safe environment to learn, and we have to move with all the data. And I really think we have to learn to move with incomplete data. You have to be willing to put yourself in challenging situations so you learn the lessons. I think the public educational system isn't particularly that that good in the sense that it doesn't teach us how to be courageous enough, in my opinion. Oftentimes in high school, college, university, we get put in a very safe environment. The teacher there telling us all we need to know, then we test it, then we get a grade. It's not particularly courageous enough, in my opinion, to actually thrive outside of the typical educational environment. Because in life, we are tested and then we learn. They are polar opposites. And, people set themselves up for disaster when they leave because they usually default to that path of least resistance, and they do, the typical 9 to 5, and they're bored out of their minds for the rest of their life because they didn't develop their own character. And I often say, if you do imagine that the challenge of life are like the storms and the hurricanes of life, that if you develop an invincible character, it's almost like a mobile shelter in the storm. It repels all the resistance. And no matter what storms come, you can have the courage to actually pass through them. And oftentimes in relation to that quotation about dancing in the rain, you have to find beauty in the rainfall. You have to be willing to dance between and throw down between your greatest desire and your greatest fear. And oftentimes, usually the fear overpowers most people's desires, which is such a shame, and rather than the other way around. I often say that, our desire and our belief, our motivation is almost like an internal sun. And, if you actually think about it, even the highest mountains can't overpower the sun. That fire inside of us has to be tested at some point. And when you do have that burning desire, that is usually what initiates people to do most things they want to achieve. But at times of great challenge, that fire is being tested. And you have to protect that flame. You have to be willing to keep going. It's stopping for nothing or nobody. You have to become unstoppable. So when I'm saying about this quotation, it's learn to move towards the sound of the storm. Don't shy away from things that might be challenging on the surface. That is where you learn the most, especially outside of school and stuff like that. It teaches to be a passive person inside of school, in my opinion. We need to be more aggressive with our own character, in my opinion, outside of school to get them opportunities, and really golden nugget opportunities which have the most change in our life, which actually propel us towards greater things outside of the typical 9 to 5. So, hope you've enjoyed that video. Any comments, comment below, and I'll speak to you soon. Thanks very much.